Morning everyone, Jim Ruddy here. Today I'm going to do a very short lesson all about starting sentences with the word as. Very simple tool which spices up your writing and helps you by creating some interesting sentences. Therefore you create interesting paragraphs and hopefully ultimately creating some interesting stories. So a very simple tool, starting sentences with as. Let's have a look. Let's use the opener, as Oliver jumped out of bed. Well, when we have a sentence beginning with the word as, we have to think of something else that's happening at the same time as this. So as Oliver jumped out of bed, what could be happening at the same time? So let's go. As Oliver jumped out of bed, he sighed miserably. How about that? Now, very simple, straightforward. It's not right though. I wonder if you know why it isn't right. Have a quick look. It's not finished. Well, for those of you, well done those of you who spotted it. As Oliver jumped out of bed, there's a natural pause there, isn't there? That comma. As Oliver jumped out of bed, he sighed miserably. You can just hear it, that halfway comma, I call it. So there we go. Please don't forget the comma. There is a natural pause in a sentence that begins with as, and you must put a comma where that pause falls. So now that's an okay sentence. Today you might feel like pushing yourself a little bit harder though. Let's fiddle around with this. I never really go with my first idea, and I'm always tweaking my sentences afterwards. So as Oliver jumped out of bed, let's do something a little bit more. He twisted his ankle and fell to the floor, screaming in agony. A little bit more adventurous there. Okay, as Oliver jumped out of bed, he twisted his ankle and fell to the floor, screaming in agony. There we go. Now, I'm still looking at a way of introducing something a little bit different. I'm going to add another word here at the first half of the sentence. Watch this. Now that word completely changes everything about this sentence. As Oliver jumped out of bed excitedly. Now as a reader, I'm thinking to myself, right, he's got a reason, an exciting reason for getting out of bed that morning. Firstly, he's jumping out of bed. You jump out of bed, usually, normally we're crawling out of bed in the morning, especially Mondays. But he's jumping out of bed, so he's obviously excited about something, and just adds that little bit of suspense there. I don't know what, I'm kind of thinking, what's he excited about? And naturally, as if we carried on this story, you'd definitely probably find out in the next sentence, or certainly in the next paragraph, what was making him so excited. But anyway, it's all come to a terrible end because he's now twisted his ankle and he's on the floor screaming in agony. So the excitement, I'm sure, has dissolved very quickly. So all I'm saying to you is, don't go with your first attempt. Look at your first attempt, think about it, tweak it, and make it more exciting. And if you can even add something to the beginning, the first half of the sentence, just to add that something a little bit different, extra depth or extra flavour to your sentence, look at doing that too. And that really is what separates good writers from average writers, and good writers from amazing writers. People who add those extra little ingredients of spice to their sentences. Anyway, there we go. So there's a good sentence. Let's have a look at another one. Let's do one more together and then you can have a go yourselves. There's another opener for you. As the lioness crouched quietly in the bushes. Well, again, remember, when we use the word as, usually there's something else happening at the same time as this. What could be happening at the same time? So I picture the scene in my head. A lioness crouching in the bushes. Why would she be crouching in the bushes? Well, she's either hiding from something, which is unlikely as they're quite fierce creatures, aren't they? The female of the species. So a lion is the male, lioness is the female. They do all the hunting. So maybe she's hunting. Maybe she's hunting. So as the lioness crouched quietly in the bushes, there's my natural pause. I'm not going to forget that. There it is, my halfway comma. As the lioness crouched quietly in the bushes, the wildebeest, that's not right, is it? Wildebeest, I think. I think that's actually spelt differently. Yeah, that looks right. Now, the wildebeest, not just the herd, that's even better. The herd of wildebeest. As the lioness crouched quietly in the bushes, the herd of wildebeest became unsettled. Yeah. That's much better, isn't it? So as she's crouching quietly in the bushes, they have sensed that she's there and they're becoming unsettled. Perfect. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Got my halfway comma. Everything's right. Now, you can try this too. Okay? You can try this too. Here's a few sentences. You can either pause this now and just grab a piece of paper and have a go. Do your own ones for the first two. Come up with your own ideas. And then try it for the rest as well. Don't forget adding that little bit of extra spice and flavour to your sentence by maybe adding or changing something here as well. As slow as a snap. Wow, it could be a little bit more descriptive, couldn't it? You have a think, try those, and I'll be back tonight and I'll post up my sentences. I'm going to do this too, and then you can see some examples of some pretty good ones, and I'm sure you'll have some pretty good ones of your own as well. If you want to get your parents to add your one or two of your sentences, or all of them for that matter, to the comments below, feel free to do that, and you can see other people's too. Okay, enough from me. See you later. Good luck.